Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Chatter Squadron, your weekly dose of Star Wars fun and positivity. My name is Tyler Bucks.
And my name is Logan Honsaker. What is up, you rebel scum?
A lot of stuff is up for us. Look at it. We're in a brand new place.
Are we? I didn't even notice.
Logan closes his eyes. I do a whole thing where I put my hands over his eyes until we make it into the studio, and then I reveal it. It's like, look, we're not in the old place anymore.
It's a trick. We try to see if I can tell where I'm at, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a Sherlock Holmes type of deal.
We're currently in a upper part of a house, and it is extremely hot up here. That red that's behind us, that's not lights.
It's real fire.
That's real fire.
Also, we went past a bread factory. I could tell.
Oh, now you're referencing the Robert
Now
Downey
I am
Jr. Sherlock Holmes.
Right,
Okay,
right.
Interesting. But today we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Bad Batch. So that is your spoiler warning, first of many. If you haven't watched it yet, feel free to disregard us. But Logan, now that you're back after your sickness hiatus, tell people how they can support the show.
You can support the show, well, first off, by commenting in every episode,
Mm-hmm.
and it enters you into a chance to win our art that we get from Acme Archives Direct. And here we go. It's never been this close before. I can reach out and touch it if I wanted to. I won't. This is The Gift by Al Abazia.
Yes. And we are going to be extending the giveaway for this until all the way into July.
Yeah.
Around the 1st of July. So comment in on all of our videos and live streams and whatnot, and that gets you entered in to win any of our platforms. You can do that. You can also support Acme Archives Direct at acmearchivesdirect.com. So go ahead and check out that stuff. As it stands right now, Acme Archives Direct cannot send the people's giveaway art anywhere outside of the continental United States. We just want to throw that out there. We're figuring some stuff out for a prior winner, but just wanted to throw that out there. It's just so you are aware and it's on your radar.
Yeah, and from here on out.
For here on out, yeah. Okay.
Anyone who's
Does
already
anybody
won, you're
else
good.
get that? Yeah, that's not us trying to figure out all these details. That's just sweat from Mustafar heat that's behind us.
That's where we're at, Mustafar.
Exactly.
It's going to keep changing. Also, our Patreon, you can support us directly at patreon.com/Chatter Squadron.
Rise those ranks.
Yeah, rise the ranks. You get show notes, Discord, post-show, shout-outs. Shout-outs?
Shout-outs to our Commodores. So shout out to Commodore Marroquin,
Commodore Marroquin,
Commodore Rayside,
Commodore Benti,
and Commodore Mellish. Shout out to Commodore Rayside. She filled in for you yesterday. Week.
Goes quick. I was watching. I kept commenting in, and every time you would tell me to get in bed, and I was like, "Why is he assuming I'm not in bed?" It's like I'm definitely in bed while I'm commenting.
Well, maybe you can tell us how you got a little bit better, because this is everybody's spoiler warning time. After this point, we're going to be talking spoilers of the episode. So, how are you feeling now? You had a sinus infection, I believe.
Did. My sinuses attacked me.
Yes, they did.
They do it twice a year.
Just like I paid them to do.
Yep. Tyler pays my sinuses, and they just beat me down. It's far cheaper than poison, which he tried before, but I'm on to. If I can smell bread as we're passing a factory, I can smell a little bit of poison in my glass.
But he drank it anyway.
Yeah, just because I like it. I do still have a little bit of a cough, so I will try not to destroy our audio listeners. I mean, everyone's ears. I'll try not to.
I was going to say, you're always concerned about the audio listeners when it comes to the audio quality, but the people watching also hear.
I feel like the people watching, they have a little bit of a visual cue of oh, he's gonna cough.
He's about to cough directly into the mic. We better leave the room.
The audio people, they don't know. It just comes out of nowhere. Which actually, perfect timing.
See, there we go. And last stop before spoilers. Yes, we put this up as a podcast every single Tuesday. So if you don't have the time to watch the Bad Batch episode right now, you can watch it later and then listen to this or watch this on Tuesday or whenever. All right, it is time to get into spoilers.
Get into it.
So do we have to have a spoilers? Who's this guy?
Spoiler.
He's
I don't know.
He's Mitch Sidemouth. Hey, it's me, Mitch Sidemouth. I talk out of the side of my mouth.
I don't want to talk out the side of my mouth about these spoilers.
Okay, so it's time to talk about this episode of The Bad Batch. And I personally loved this episode? I know we watched it together just a little bit ago, but we didn't like go and say, hey, what'd you think of it?
Right.
Overall, how did you feel about this episode?
I liked it. It went by really quick.
It did.
And I knew I'd peek before we watched it. I was like, how long is this one? And so I knew it was going to be quick, but it felt even quicker. But it was super cool, initial thoughts to see Fennec
of course,
animated form. Very sweet. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I'm a little disheartened that my prediction didn't come right, that Echo wasn't the first one. Or no, not Echo. My prediction for Echo is way darker. Tech was supposed to be the first one to meet Fennec, but Omega's fine too. I'm not mad about it or anything.
Yeah, and also we'll get to it a little bit later, but my prediction with Fennec was that she is hired by the Empire to track down the Bad Batch, but eventually she works with the Bad Batch. But it looks like she's still tracking them down,
right?
So it's a possibility that we might be able to get it there.
Yeah, you can still very much be right, and I think you're going to be.
We're going to bring this up. Ben Hart, good friend of the show. I actually haven't seen it yet. Oh my goodness. What did you not hear? Spoiler warning.
We had Mitch Sidemouth or whatever his name was. I don't know.
This is crazy. Yeah. Thank you, Commodore Benty. What are you doing here then?
Ben, what are you doing here then?
But yeah. Okay. So Ben, you're getting spoiled. Fennec was in this. All right.
Sorry.
So here's what happened in the episode. On their way to a proposed hiding place on the planet Idaflor? Idaflor? No, Idaflor.
No, Ida Ceiling.
The Bad Batch is forced to stop on Pantora to gather supplies and for Tech to modify their ship's signature to escape the Empire's wanted list. They're doing a lot in this series about you're tracking, but you just like normal adult things like your signature and your license and your code and all that type of stuff.
They're going to be at the BMV next episode.
Exactly.
Just getting all their papers and their registrations signed over.
For some reason, Hunter is going to want to bring Omega along.
Yeah.
Omega's like, I want to see it. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. You would love it there, kid.
And here's the thing. That would be the safest place he's ever brought Omega.
That's a good point. Somehow she would
that's a perfect place for her.
She would get like a sucker or something that would then do like a Rube Goldberg machine that would cause immediate danger to her and everyone else, though.
Yeah, she loses the sucker and she's like chasing it down or something, like following
into a meat grinding factory for some reason.
Exactly. They put those right next to the BMV.
One of the first things I said here is Omega is keeping up with this whole I was cloned without fear thing. That when they explain like, hey, we have to hide. She's like, what? We have to hide?
Hide?
It's like, listen, I know you're sheltered and everything. I was a sheltered kid growing up. But at the end of the day, it's like, you do know that you've almost died in like a firefight and a monster almost ate you.
Yeah.
And we've explained that we're being hunted right now. But it's like, what do you mean hide? What are we hiding from? That's everything.
Yeah. It'd be one thing if they had like a really boring escape up until this point, and then it was like, maybe they were like, hey, people are out to get us, and she just hasn't seen that, but she's seen it firsthand. Like you said, she's been in a firefight.
This is the most in this episode, though, is the most danger and peril she's been in. So if next episode she still doesn't understand the danger and peril, I'm going to be like, her Bad Batch like mutation was she doesn't have any fear.
Yeah, fear.
Yeah, she's just a tank when it comes to like concern.
She also could have had a very nice time, whatever, and I know we'll get into this later, at the ship with the droids.
Yeah.
Like that seemed super not in harm's way. So maybe take note of that, Hunter.
That's a good point, Hunter. Okay, but I do like how they put all their faith in Tech, though. Do you notice that? Like, Tech will say something,
it's fact,
and they'll just be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
And even when he doesn't say stuff, like the fact that they have inhibitor chips and whatnot, they're still just like, oh, well, he says we have inhibitor chips, so I agree, I guess.
And that was the first time that they were hearing that. He's like, yeah, you guys have inhibitor chips. Yeah. Didn't he say that? Like, I thought you knew.
I thought, well, I did like that kind of tact on it of like, it's kind of the only logical way they could do this, which I appreciate. But at the same time,
he's on such a higher level already. Like, exactly. I thought you guys knew. It's like, what? Wrecker's like, what?
Yeah. See, Tech isn't smart enough to know that Wrecker would definitely not know.
Right.
He needs to explain everything to the group like he's explaining it to Wrecker.
And then, except apparently, like parenting. I feel like Wrecker's the only one who's actually picking it up pretty well.
Yeah. I do want to bring up that Rick Villanueva says that you look good in red.
I look good in fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm also sunburnt.
He
This
is
is to hide it.
He is actually a little bit sunburnt. Okay. Also, I'm pumped to see when they land on the planet that Danny DeVito is now in Star Wars.
Yeah, he made a cameo.
Big time cameo. He's the guy who is like the loading pad guy. He's like, hey guys. Anyway, so I started blasting.
Yeah, so I started blasting my way out of it.
Right, exactly. That could have definitely been done in this episode.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like the blasting type. He didn't even seem like he could wheel and deal too well. And I know we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit too. But yeah, he was even his like way of trying to get more money out of them wasn't even that like well done in the sense of just like he's like, yeah, maybe I'll look past that, and then they just walk away, and then he just kind of stands there like, it's like, dude, that's not very like subtle or like cool or anything. You just stood there while they walked. They could have just kept walking away.
He just like stands there with his. He had some nice rings though. I don't know if you checked that out.
He did have some nice rings to go along with his nice jawls.
Yeah, he's balling out.
Okay, so however, that landing pad attendant, aka Danny DeVito, identifies them and informs Fennec Shand, a mercenary hired to retrieve Omega. So right there, a little bit of my prediction got true in the sense of she is like hired to go hunt them down.
I think all your prediction is going to come true.
No.
And I don't want to, I don't like saying that.
So far, there's no way that Wrecker is going to,
Oh, no. I don't mean all of your
predictions
are going to come true. I mean, all of your Fennec prediction is going to come true because maybe we talked about this or maybe I just talked about it in my own head. But because in The Mandalorian, she talks about being wanted by the Empire.
Yeah.
So this falls in perfectly where she's kind of in cahoots with them a bit, trying to track down Omega.
Right.
And then she goes against her orders a little bit like Mando with Grogu. And then they're after her. Or you could be completely wrong and nothing would make me happier.
But either way, he rats them out immediately. Like
doesn't waste a second.
Even if they just kind of looked hard into he was shady as heck, and he's like on his computer talking to somebody now. I would be like, dude, this guy's definitely ratting us out.
That guy's calling someone.
That guy's
he just picked up the phone hastily, like
right,
way too hastily.
Yeah, and he talks really loud. He's saying stuff like, "They're here, come get them. Yeah, I need money.
They're here. Bring the money."
Something I did love was Hunter and Echo's disguises.
Though. Oh yeah, going out on the town.
Hunter looking like a normal person was no. I mean, he doesn't look like a clone anyway. So now with him with normal clothes, he looks great. And then
full Rambo.
I love Echo's. That disguise.
That was the coolest.
What did they do to make that disguise though? Like, did they just have
some parts,
like several droids that had like hollowed out heads and stuff? They were because it looks like.
It's legit.
It's amazing. I hope he stays like that.
It fits him perfectly too.
I know because of all of the robotics.
He's just this perfect size of a droid.
That's so offensive. But yeah, it was while we were watching this, I made the note to myself that said, "Don't bring Omega Hunter. She is a child. She's a child." They do this whole thing, and it's like. I'm sitting there going like, oh, and then she'll stay back with the ship.
Yeah, with Wrecker and Tech.
And then Hunter's just like, all right, Omega, you're coming along too. And it's like, what? Why? Why would you do that? Don't do that.
No disguise. No disguise for Omega.
Right. No change. They have several droids they can turn Echo into, but they don't have like just where is Cal Kestis with all of his ponchos? Just throw one over her.
Or even just hollow out a droid.
They just need to open some chests apparently because Cal Kestis, any chest he opens has a poncho.
Another poncho.
That's just a Star Wars thing.
Or a hilt, if you're lucky.
That's true. Quick, Omega, put this hilt on your head. Okay, but Wrecker is still powering through everything back at the ship when they're trying to do repairs. He's just like, just tell me what to rip out.
Yeah.
Which once again
He's the demolition man.
it goes way against my
Yeah.
my prediction, which is he'll use deductive reasoning to solve a problem. It's like all he's done is just like, all right, I'm here to.
Yeah, you thought really highly of him, that you thought he was going to think through
I
something.
don't think that highly of him. I was just thinking highly that he would have some type of character development.
Well,
Yeah, well,
think
see,
again.
see what you get when you expect something like that.
No, he might. I think he might.
What do you remember what your prediction was for him again?
Wrecker? Oh, what did I say for Wrecker? Maybe something with his heights. Doesn't he have a fear of heights or a fear of gravity? I think was the quote.
Oh, that's true.
I think I said he's going to confront his fear of gravity, heights.
I'm trying to look in the chat here. Rick Villanueva is saying we're sponsored by IHOP. Currently,
Nice.
we are not. But I think the chat has gotten away from us, and we didn't see IHOP in the chat saying we want to sponsor you guys.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Did I get like free IHOP or something for life?
Just for any advertisers watching us, you just have to give us a lot of what you have.
Yeah. Like, and I don't want it spaced out over the rest of my life. I want my life supply in a lump sum right up front.
And you can just freeze it all.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is the thing. We have Omega, and she is with Hunter and Robo Echo and Robeco. Ooh. And guess what? Omega got lost. Hunter.
Who knew?
Hunter.
Who knew that could happen?
Of course he got lost.
How could you let that happen? It's like there's just what was it? Cut? I feel like Omega should have just stayed with Cut.
No, yeah, definitely 100%. I think that was the best thing that Hunter came up with to protect Omega.
He sabotaged himself right at the last minute.
Yeah.
He's like, no, actually, you're gonna come with me.
Exactly. Just go, you know what? No, you're still a child. I'm not gonna let you strong arm me, because apparently she's really good at doing that.
I have a piece of advice for Hunter. If he's going somewhere,
yeah,
I think Omega shouldn't go with him ever. You know what I mean? Like if he's going on a mission, Omega should stay with the ship.
Yeah.
If he's staying with the ship, she should go somewhere else, because that's where the action's gonna. You gotta
keep them separated.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like that's just the smartest, safest way.
We have Jordan in the chat saying she doesn't get lost. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Oh,
she's chasing after a weird, like ditto
space
mixed
dog.
with a dog. Yeah, that took the thing. I guess she knows exactly what she's doing, but it's not a good thing that she's doing. Like I know exactly what I'm doing a lot of the time. Does it mean I am doing the right thing? Heck no.
No, a lot of the time it's the wrong thing, but I'm conscious of it, and that's what matters.
Oh my gosh, Chris, I don't even know if I should bring this pun on here. I hopped home to watch this podcast.
Love it.
Wait, is that what we need to say? Did we miss that? IHOP saying, how about you IHOP home and watch Chatter Squadron with your pancakes?
That's what IHOP wants from us. It's not anything else but just a lot of puns involving their name.
Hey, I mean, they might really be into that.
Let us know, IHOP, in the chat.
Shand comes upon Omega and tries to abduct her.
Yeah.
That was... she was playing the good guy and was very sus. She was like
a weird
hey,
good guy. Yeah.
How's it going, child?
You hungry?
You hungry? How about I steal some food for you in front of you?
Yeah. Do you like that space puppy? I got more in my space van. You like it? I have space candy.
And Hunter's like, Omega, stranger danger. And Omega's like, I don't even know what strangers are.
Right.
What's danger?
I never learned that.
What, danger? Strangers? I don't know those words.
Is that like dirt? Yes, they are very
Hold
similar.
on. We're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Now think of dirt. Think if the dirt hurt you.
Right.
Oh,
See? Keep
Yeah,
that.
that's a
Keep that
stranger.
emotion. That's a stranger.
that's fear.
Yeah.
Omega, what you just felt there, that is fear. Hold on to that
Hold
sometimes.
on to it. It's going to come in handy.
It's going to come in handy. Like when a random person starts talking to you and you see them packing.
Yeah.
They're packing heat. You need to get the heck out of there, Omega.
And she even didn't she ask Fennec if she was like in the army or something like that, or
For some reason I thought you were going to say the mob. Are you in the mob?
that would have been a smart question to ask. I would have been proud of him.
She doesn't know what dirt is, but she knows what the mob is. I watched all seasons of Space Sopranos.
Yeah, I got a lot of time on our hands in Camino. They're teaching weird stuff there.
Yeah, that's what they have those headset things on, and they're working on. They're watching. They're
dirt.
They're binging stuff,
and they go.
They're just binging Netflix over there. Okay, goodness gracious. Okay, even in the future, droids need managers. That was something that I found very interesting. Was like he brought Rebecca into the room and was like, "All right, you're in charge of all these droids," and it's like. There's not like a program. You just like tippity type, hey, work better, and they work better. Like you need a droid that's going to make the other droids work better. It's like, whoa, this tech is weird, man.
There's a system, and then there's got to be a droid to keep the manager droid in check, right. Too. And then there's got to be a droid to keep that droid in check.
Yeah, that dude had no chill in front of his old manager droid too. Imagine if you were the manager at work. And then he just brought in a new manager. It was like, hey, take care of all these people. And I'm like, what? I'm the manager. It's like, well, I guess I'm the manager now. He left.
No, I think I'm the manager. We're supposed to have meetings about this.
This is like Jim and Michael in that one season where they're co-managers.
Co-manager.
Yeah, they don't know who to listen to.
Echo does more of the day-to-day stuff, and the other droid's kind of a big picture.
He's a big picture kind of thing. I should say. True. Fennec is a bad influence, like we just talked about, saying to steal.
Yeah, off the rip.
And also, how did that person not notice that she was dumping 2 things into her helmet?
Just right in there.
Right in there.
It's like,
those things are big, too.
Well, yeah, and she was bent down. They're everywhere. And then just like, whoop, right in the helmet,
Immediately, the first things she picked up were those to put in her helmet.
Maybe he also saw the blaster and was like, whatever. Not worth it. Not worth it. You can take them.
But it's at this point that Hunter's alarm bells go off when he just sees Omega with an assassin.
Yeah.
Like, I think at that point, right, she wasn't doing anything too crazy. They were just kind of next to each other. But then he's like, oh, no, I got to get her away from her. And it was like, right, you shouldn't have ever taken her with you.
Yeah. Like, at this point, Hunter should have been like, ooh, maybe this wasn't the call. Maybe I shouldn't have brought a child into the busy, crowded city where we had to go undercover.
Exactly. Right. But not her.
And I think if Omega would have had some sort of disguise, I mean, Fennec probably would have saw through it. But maybe you would have saved yourself a little bit of trouble.
In the chat, I know that IHOP did IHOB at one point to International House of Burgers. I guess this is what Ben's saying. International House of Podcasts now.
That's incredible.
That's great.
Hopefully they're still doing pancakes.
Yeah, hopefully they're doing the pancake.
Because I don't need a free supply, a lifetime of podcasts.
No, most of them are free already.
Yeah.
And also, you can't freeze a podcast.
No. Well, you could pause it.
That's a very good point. Okay. His alarm bells go off, and there's this whole kind of standoff between the two of them. Rebecca really blew that guy's mind coming out of the back, being a droid with a human face.
Yeah, he was like, "You're not a droid," and he was like, "Yep, you got a good deal for me."
But that's the thing, like Hunter gets knocked down, but he gets up again.
Yeah, you're never gonna keep him down.
Yeah, that's a good point. But he tells everybody like, "Hey, I lost the kid." Everybody should have chimed in and was like, "Yeah, no duh."
Yeah.
You took her into the city.
Yeah, you know where no danger came the whole episode? The ship.
The ship, yeah. Especially her little room.
She would have met some robot friends.
Yeah, that would have been great for her.
She could have learned things.
But that's the thing. Like he's like, all right, we gotta find the kid. And then there you go. You got Rebecca come out with a human face. That guy who owned the shop for at least 2 seconds had to have thought, wait a second.
Did this droid just kill a human and put his
face on him?
Just like Hannibal?
Yeah, like Dwight from The Office. I'm just all these Office references. But Dwight with The Office. Dwight with the face on his face.
Hello,
exactly. I can't do that very good. Wrecker and Shand should be rad. That's what I wrote as I was watching the standoff in the sewers between because Wrecker eventually finds Omega very quickly, without any. I was hoping there'd be deductive reasoning there.
No,
like they ask him, "How did you find her so fast?" And he'd be like, "Well, I deduced that blah blah blah." But no, he was just there for some reason.
Like, I found her.
Yeah, and
now we know that Wrecker.
I thought this standoff was going to be super cool, but then Shand just kind of did some Jedi mind pipe bursting tricks, and then
Just like a
that's all it
1-2
was.
pop.
Yeah.
And he was down
He was down.
immediately.
Yeah.
Who knew?
There you go. And I wrote
Fennec.
in the notes, ... never mind. Because in the time it spent me to write that, the fight was over.
I think in my notes I wrote something similar where it was like Fennec versus Wrecker, and then I was just like, nope. Never mind.
Yeah, oh well. But Tech is so calm while talking about Omega hanging on for dear life.
Yeah. Of the tower, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because which I was confused too, because
Fennec just blasts through the door.
well, there's that, but there's also, I thought they were under the ground.
Yeah.
And then she climbs up a giant tower from under the ground. I thought she was just going to be like
ground level.
But then all of a sudden she climbed a lot.
Yeah.
She's all the way at the top.
Kids climb quick, man.
Right. And then she almost falls off and dies. And yeah, once again, Tech is just like, it seems like Omega is.
Yeah.
I found her and she's hanging off by the thread.
Hanging from a water tower.
Right. Exactly. And then Hunter, once again, finally parental instincts are kicking in. He's like, whoa,
Oh, that's bad.
yeah, I think that's bad.
That was an option? I didn't know that could even happen.
How did she get up there?
Also, is Fennec supposed to bring Omega back? Like, right? I don't think Fennec's orders, is to kill her.
Well, the thing about it is, though, is she does save her.
Yeah.
Omega.
Well, no, I'm just thinking when she blasts through the door. Because if Omega was even a little bit farther to the left or something, it's just like straight laser to the chest.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much Fennec really cares, because in the next part here, she tells Omega to, what is it, tuck and roll?
Tuck and roll.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just good advice.
Right. But she definitely didn't tuck and roll. No, she just took it shoulder first, Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Phantom Menace.
I mean, could you imagine that? Like you're just dangling a child off a tower and you're like, tuck and roll, and then just let them go. It's like they're not trained.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Eyes up here. Okay, I'm going to drop you.
So dirt?
Onto a moving, think about dirt.
It's a lot like dirt.
Stays still? Well, this is moving dirt.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a little danger. Remember that feeling of danger? That's what we're talking about here.
Like, so hold on to that and tuck and roll. I know I said a lot, but just
tuck and roll. Don't land right on your shoulder. And 1, 2, 3, right on the shoulder.
Right on the shoulder. Okay, I'm gonna jump down next to her and do something real cool.
Yeah.
And bam.
Well, how'd you feel about that though?
That's cool.
But this beginning of this standoff. I mean, we have Hunter steal somebody's speeder,
right?
And now this chase is happening,
and Fennec's just like murdering people, like left and right.
Right. Well, that was super cool. I'll be honest.
Just going straight Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, she murks a guy out of his own car.
Yeah,
and just throws them, and then she shoots one cop, which then drives into the other cop, and they both blow up. At this point we talk about how amazing the animation is for this season?
That's incredible.
It's outstanding, especially with the focus. Did you notice that? Especially when they did the changing of focus in the very beginning with Wrecker and Tech talking to Danny DeVito, where he was in the background, they were in the foreground, and they were talking. It went to focus on them, then it focused on him, and they were out of focus. It was just man, it's good.
I also noticed that before that, not a focusing thing, but just the fluidity, I guess. Like the shot was just when the camera kind of panned down and we had Danny DeVito sitting there in his office, and then it just kind of went to the left, and then the ship landed and everything was that was just like a money shot. It was incredible.
The production value is so high right now. I will say I'm very concerned about Wrecker's head injuries. He seems to have sustained one every single episode.
Well, the last one that I thought was going to be a bigger deal is gone. So that was just to keep him on the ship in the last episode. Because I never got to say that because I wasn't on last episode.
Yeah.
Because my sinuses were destroying my
So it's
brain.
just a plot hole. A plot point. Just like he hurt his head and now he's...
It's like the jetpack thing.
Not as bad as the jetpack thing from season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The jetpack thing in season 2 of The Mandalorian is very similar to the feeling I get watching Hunter try and be a parent.
Yeah.
It's like, don't take her with you. The jetpack thing was just
put it on.
Mandalorian, put the jetpack back on. It's right there next to you, my dude. Okay, but this is the thing. they have this awesome chase, and Hunter uses the mine he almost sold to the guy who had his mind blown earlier in the episode. I should have picked that up as a plot, like a plot point. Did you?
That he what?
That he had that mine that he was trying to sell, and then instead he sells.
He sells
Techo.
Yeah. Just combining them.
He's Techo from now on.
But
Anyway,
it was Robeco.
Robeco. Oh, you're right, Techo.
Because I was
no.
If they
you're
fused
right.
Tech and Echo, that would make sense.
With robotics and the Roteco.
Oh, that's.
But yeah,
three.
What is it? What do we call him?
Robeco.
Thank you. Anyway, with Robeco.
Rebecca. Just all new.
But he almost sold him that mine.
Right.
I should have clocked that as like, okay, there's a reason he still has that mine, because they do that often in these types of shows. It's like they show something one time kind of randomly.
Yeah.
And then it's like later in the episode, it's like, oh, they had a flashlight there. I should have remembered.
Isn't that what that's called? I should know this in theater. Chekhov's gun or something like that, where you should, if you see a gun in Act 1, it's gonna go off by Act 3 or whatever the last act is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Chekhov's mine. Filoni's mine.
But yeah, so he blows up the ship that Fennec is on, and she survives by tucking and rolling.
See, it's just good advice.
Perfect. Yeah. But after shaking off Shand and completing the modifications, the Bad Batch depart Pantora, with Shand remaining in pursuit. Anyone else concerned with the fact that Fennec has just been wearing the same clothes for the 3 decades?
Yeah, forever. Well, not the exact same, because now she's got the little portion to reveal her robotic stomach.
I see. This is the thing. I think she got it tailored after she got shot in the stomach. They just took the same clothes, cut that part out.
Oh, that's exactly what they
put
did.
A patch over top of it. So it's the exact same clothes.
It's the exact same clothes.
The newest thing she has is that patch to reveal her stomach.
So every 30 years, she updates her wardrobe a little bit. I'm down with it.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a very little bit.
I think in another 30 years, she might have a cool arm patch where she pulls that down and she's got a tattoo or something.
That's not something that is. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
I'm lone wolf. I'm back there.
Yeah.
That type of thing. And he just puts it back up. He really does that. That's a real thing.
Yes, I know. Blades of Glory. But she does look exactly the same as she does in The Mandalorian, which this is happening 19 years before A New Hope. And then another 8 years 8 years after A New Hope. So around 30 years.
Right. And at this point, she can't change.
She's known for one thing,
one outfit, and that's it. That's
I do love her outfit so much, though.
I like the helmet. It's my favorite part. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Huh?
It's pretty cool.
So the crew is all back together, and Danny DeVito comes out of his hut screaming, which this is weird. Don't go. She hasn't paid me yet.
He's just screaming that at the ship, basically.
How else can you give yourself away more apparently?
Yeah, he basically was like, hang on, guys. I turned on you. Come back and lower the ship.
Right. And how is that going to convince them either if they hear that?
He's flying oh, hang on. Wait. Oh, she didn't pay him yet, guys. Land.
Listen, I kind of like this guy.
They just all walk out with their hands in front of them, just
Listen,
waiting.
We're good guys here. We're the Bad Batch, but we're good guys.
We didn't know you didn't get paid. We didn't say that.
Sorry about that. But even still, if they heard it somehow from the ship, they'd be like, hey, let's just shoot that guy with one of our cannons really quick.
I don't know why they didn't.
That guy backstabbed us hardcore.
And also, they already paid him. So at that point, I'd be like, listen, you got your payment, man.
That's true.
It's over.
Okay, so Fennec is still looking for Omega, but who is she talking to at the end there? She goes into her little comm and says something into the comm.
Oh, yeah.
So there's somebody specific on the end of the line, or else she has her own Fennec Chronicles, much like Lando had his Calrissian Chronicles.
She's just documenting everything.
Right. Fennec Chronicles.
Omega did not tuck and roll like planned. Things are not going according to plan.
Pretty bad. She may have rolled her ankle.
Yeah.
I'm still hungry. I only got 2 bites of that fruit thing.
It's my stomach is a little empty.
Wink to the camera.
It's what? Is she breaking the fourth wall?
But at this point, I feel like we are going to have a reoccurring character with her. You know,
Boba Fett.
Talking to Boba Fett.
Child Boba Fett.
Listen, kid, I know we're never like link
But
together.
We're gonna meet
anything.
like in 20 years or something.
On the off chance that we do work together in like 20 years, I want to talk to you
like,
right now.
Yeah. So she's got her own person behind the man behind the computer. You know?
Are you talking almost like the Wizard of Oz? Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
That or
don't look at the robot guts behind my flap.
Well, she wants everyone to look at those robot guts, or else they wouldn't have put the flap in.
I'm pretty sure that it's just Boba.
Yeah,
he's like really proud that he was able to save her life.
He's like, how is anyone going to see this though? She's like, I don't know. They probably shouldn't. He's like, no, they should.
I wanted people to see that I helped save you.
It's like, this is pretty cool, right?
Check it out. And I had them put a window in, so you see all the gears in her stomach.
He's like, look at that. It's like little windshield wipers. That's to keep it clean, so we can always see what's going on in there. Yeah,
it's Boba's pride and joy, her robo guts,
and she just has to because he saved her life.
Okay, so before we wrap up the show, the question I want to give to the people is, what did you think of the episode 4 of The Bad Batch? Put it in the chat. We will bring up your comments, and because of your comments, you have a chance to win the art right behind us. Once again, if you want to help support us, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Chatter Squadron. Rise the ranks over there. We've been doing the number grading for these episodes. I think I've been rating it pretty high, so I think I have to keep it a bit higher. But if we go off of what Commodore Rayside implemented last week,
the point system,
which is a decimal point, I'm going to give this an 8.5.
Okay,
because I did like it, but there was, I'll be honest, a lot of moments where I'm like, Hunter, dude, don't bring the kid around.
He's a new young child. You know what I mean? He's got to have a learning curve, and
the problem is the learning curve for him is Omega dies getting hit by a flying truck.
Right. I think for him, realistically, or as realistically as I can put myself in that situation, he probably does, and it's naive for sure, but he probably just assumes like she'll be safer with me. That type of thinking.
Man, is that toxic masculinity or what? Like, listen, nobody else can be like, I know she has a safe ship where she could just sit in and got her own room now. But listen, I'm the top guy here and I'm going to take care of this kid.
It's like, I got a knife, okay?
Yeah.
My name is Hunter. You think I'm going to let anything happen?
Right.
5 minutes cut to, she's dangling off a water tower, falling off a ship. She was like Toy Storying it. She was like hanging on a little flap.
Right.
Off the back of a moving truck. No, off the speeder.
It could have been a moving truck. We don't know what was in those packages.
Rockets.
By the way, public service announcement, don't put both headphones in when you're driving. It's illegal.
That's
that
true.
That guy was rocking to some techno.
Yeah. Some techno.
All right. So Rick Villanueva says, it was fine. Last week's episode is my favorite. Well, Rick, we're not talking about last week's episode. So get on target over here. Jeez, you're a captain in our Patreon, but you couldn't even hit a Womp Rat with a G16.
Ty's coming at Rick hard.
Well, I mean, it's like, what are we talking about? We've been talking about the same episode all day, Rick.
We're like 10 episodes down the line, and he's just still on like episode number 3.
Episode 3.
Oh, I love it. I didn't actually give it a rating. I would say like 7.7.
7.7. Oh no! See, this is why I didn't want to bring points into it. Now we're getting way too specific.
What? All right, fine. 7.72. Whatever. Round down.
And then we have Commodore Benty saying this episode is my favorite to date. 9.
Ooh, nice.
Those are big
high marks.
High marks.
Oh, high marks.
Those were. Yeah, and I'm a big. Rick is mad at me. He said, "How dare you?"
I agree. I'm on Rick's side.
Meet me behind the IHOP. We're gonna go with Ben, even though once again he hasn't seen this episode. I haven't seen the episode, but based on your description, I would give it an 8.59 out of 10.
See, I love the decimals.
See,
I love it.
This is the problem. I'm not a decimal guy. Everyone's gonna be big in the decimals now.
Yeah, it gives you more options. You know, like not everything can be an 8. Some things can be an 8.59.
I don't like options. Like if I want some amazing golden pancakes, I go to IHOP. See?
Where they have no options.
They just have pancakes and apparently podcasts now.
Pancakes and podcasts. And something else that starts with P. I don't know. It's hot here. I can't think.
I can't either. I kind of want to get out of here. Like we talked about before, we're in a new location and everything. So that's why we're figuring stuff out. That's why it's gotten dark as this episode of the show has gone on.
It has gotten dark.
It's gotten dark, even though we really did the ISO of the camera. We had all the lighting all good for when it was like midday, but now it's kind of evening here. So hi everybody. This is us.
This is the nighttime show now.
Right. This means we need to do nighttime things.
Well, we're in the golden hour. Our show's in the golden hour. We're just not
the
using
windows.
any.
The windows have blinds.
Exactly. All of the windows have blinds, and you can't even tell. Also, that's only for outdoor shoots.
Yes.
Well, that's not true.
Chris is saying, I haven't decided yet. I need to watch it again. Well, Chris, we're going to need you to decide because the episode can't wrap up until you tell us.
Chris, we're going to wait. We're going to keep streaming for about 24 minutes. I think if I remember, the episode was 24, 26, and you're going to rewatch that right now. And we are not waiting at all for this answer.
We'll be back here. I'm just going to keep with the Office references when they do grief counseling and Pam leaves with Roy to like get out of the grief counseling. And then they have their little scene in the parking lot and she comes back and they're all just sitting there silently. And she's like, did you guys wait for me? Yep. You're a part of our family. She was gone for like 20 minutes and they just sat and waited until she could get back.
Silent, like, okay, you're back. We can start again.
See, there we go. We got Chad Benty, Chatter Squadron. After dark. Dark. Okay. All right.
I do agree with Chris though. I'm similar where I do need to watch things twice a lot of times.
Oh, I thought you were going to say what he did say, which is 10 divided by 0 out of 10.
Oh,
and that's
it's too much math.
But you need to have some decimals in there. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the last thing I'll bring up. Rick saying we have glowing teeth. Look at that. Nah.
And that's not actually new to this show. I always have glowing teeth.
Yeah.
Sinus infections will do that to you.
I thought we grew up next to a power plant.
We grew up inside of a power plant.
So hopefully everybody enjoyed this episode of Chatter Squadron as well as the episode of The Bad Batch. Be sure to come back next week around this exact same time, and we will be doing around the exact same thing.
Much cooler,
hopefully. Yeah, we are going to be getting an AC unit, but we appreciate everybody rolling with the punches for us, and hopefully you're enjoying this kind of like post-episode breakdown of The Bad Batch. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Logan, is there anything else you would like to say to the people before we get the heck out of here?
Thank you. I love you.
That's all it is?
That's all it was. Okay. Short and sweet.
Cool. I think you guys are pretty all right.
Wow.